Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my channel, Running with Scissors. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I bought on my final visit to two different Joanns. Stay tuned. Well, I went to two different Joanns over the weekend, and I want to show you some fabric that I was able to buy. The first Joann's didn't have as much. It's the one I go to most often. The second Joann's is a little further away from me, but it's a larger store and they had a lot more to offer. So let me just show you what I have and I'll tell you how much there is of it and what I spent for it. Right now they're having a 60% off sale. I'm not going to go back because I'm afraid if I get to the last day, they'll say it's 80 or 90% off and I don't want to know. Anyway, I went on Sunday the 18th, and I'll show you the sign, and it said final 7 days. So I think it'll be done by the end of the week. And then I went on Monday the 19th to a larger Joann's, and there was a sign that said in the window, final 10 days. So I think the middle of next week. So the 18th, the first store, the 19th on the other. So many stores have already closed, and these two are pretty much on their way out. Now, the first store I went to, I spent $46.57. Let me show you what I bought. The first thing is 8 yards of 100% cotton, and it's called Flowered Rainbows on Purple, and it's a 65% polyester and 35% cotton. Isn't that pretty? I thought maybe I would be using some of this for the dresser girl dresses. Okay, and that was 8 yards. I just picked up the bolt and said, here you go. That's what, here I want it. The next one is it's almost 8 yards. It was really close to 8 yards, and it's also a poly cotton 65-35, and it's called Pink Hearts and Rainbows. Got a rainbow thing going here. There you go. And I said there's just a smidge off of 8 yards of that. And then the last thing, I only bought 3 different fabrics there. This is 3 yards. It has a felt-like feeling, or flannel-like feeling actually. But it says on here, that is cotton durable soft hand, 100% cotton. It's one of the pop vacation fruit salad, and they said it's called cotton durable soft hand, but it does almost have that feeling of a flannel, but it's very bright, very pretty. And that's 3 yards of that. So those are the 3 things I got at the first Joann's. And I said that was the total of all of that was $46.57. Now the second Joann's I went to the next day had a lot more, and I bought quite a bit more. And as I said, I spent $75.14. Let me show you what I bought there. Put this over here. All right. Let's start with some knits. Now, when I was at the first Joann's, they had cotton. I could find no knits, nothing at all like that. It was very picked over. But this one here is, oh, and something interesting before we start. When I went to the first Joann's, they took those 3 bolts and they flipped them open and measured them precisely. When I went to this Joann's, they didn't do that. They did that thing, you know, where you count the layers. Every layer is a yard. They go 1, 2, 3, and that's how they charged me. They did not open any of these bolts up, except for one, because it had gotten off the bolt and it was kind of wonky, and they actually opened that one up and measured it. The rest they did it. So what I did was I wrote down what they said was on it by their you know, measuring or counting the layers, and then I measure it myself. So this one right here is interlock stretch. It's called Light Pink Moth Eye. Got eyeballs on it. They said it was 3 yards, and I measured it at 3 yards and 16 inches. So actually I got almost 3.5 yards. So it was a little more than what they had figured out. But that's kind of interesting looking, I think. Okay. So some of them had less than they said was on it, and some had more. So this one had a little bit more. This next one, they said it was 4.5 yards, and I measured it 4 yards and 11 inches, so it was a little short. And this one is one of the Pop jersey knit. It's the purple groovy flower jersey knit. And I'll open that up for you to look at. Okay. So I got a couple knits. All right. Next thing I'll show you, I do have some cotton. This one said it was 3.5 yards, and I measured it 3 yards and 33 inches. So it was a little more than 3.5. This is, it says it's a premium quilting, high fashion, 100% cotton, pansy paisley is what it's called. Let me hold that up for you. Isn't that pretty? I really like that. So this had more on it than they had said. This one right here was probably the closest. They said it had 5 yards. When I measured it was 5 yards and 2 inches. So it was pretty close to what they said when they just went through and started counting the layers. This is a Draper James premium cotton, and it's called Magnolia Stems Pink. And this is a really pretty one, I think. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay. All right. Got some more cotton. This, they said 2 yards, and I measured at 1 yard and 32 inches, so it was a little short. But this is really pretty. It is a hand-dyed, because it's a petite, leafy vine blue-green. I love batik. Just so pretty. And then this one, they said it was 3 yards, but I measured it 2 yards and 24 inches, so it was a little off. And this is premium cotton durable soft tan. It's called Paraiso Abstract Pink Floral, and it's 100% cotton. And I thought this was just beautiful. I love pink. Pink, purple, but I do like that pink, and that I just love it. And some of these will definitely be made into dress-a-girl dresses. I'm wanting to make have a total of 12 dresses, one for each month, and I do have one left over from last year. Okay, my 2 favorite things I got for my second trip to the second Joann's. Let me give them to you. Let me show them to you. I couldn't find any at the first store, none, and I looked everywhere. This one right here, they actually measured this one. This is the one that was kind of wonky off of the bolt, and they had to measure it, so it was 2.8 yards. And isn't this pretty? And it's called, let's see, what do they call it? Whoop, upside down. They call it Blue Blurred Floral Shiny Charmeuse. Let me hold that up for you. Isn't that something? I'm thinking maybe a blouse. I don't know, you think it might be too much for a dress? Is that too much? Maybe near my face? Maybe a skirt? I don't know, but I really like it. And I think it's beautiful. But the one that caught my eye when I first walked in the store was the very first fabric I picked up. It was another charmeuse. And they said it was 2.5 yards, but I measured it 3 yards even, so I came out ahead there. And this is a charmeuse, and it's called Bold Multi-Ditzy Floral Charmeuse. And this is my favorite. I love this. This is my absolute favorite. It's got to be a dress for sure. I'm thinking maybe a dress for my birthday. It's so spring and summery looking, but that's my favorite. The minute I saw that, I grabbed it. Okay, so that's what I got from Joann's. Now, after I was at Joann's, this was on this past Monday, I'm a member of the American Sewing Guild, and we had our monthly meeting. It was actually, we had a carry-in because it was our anniversary. It was 22 years since our chapter was started. And one thing we do is if anybody has any fabric or books or patterns or anything they don't want anymore, they put them out on a table for anybody to take free. And well, someone brought in fabric. I didn't take it all. I'll show it to you here in a minute. They found this fabric and there was so much of it and we had no way to measure it. So this one lady, she would take it, you know how she would hold it out to her chest and like this. She said, oh, from here to here, that's probably about 1 yard. So she measured this fabric and there was almost 10 yards of it. I said, I don't want all 10 yards. I don't want to be greedy. Somebody else might want some too. So I said, I'll just take half of it. And then somebody else took the other half. But let me show this to you that I got for free. I measured it 5 yards and 22 inches. It's 100% cotton. But to me, this screams autumn. Is this beautiful? You can see why I grabbed it, don't you? Isn't that pretty? But I think that's going to be a dress made for the fall because of the dark background. But I love it. And I wanted enough so that if I could make long sleeves, if I want a ruffle on the bottom. But so I thought I did pretty well for free. You can't beat free. So I definitely have got fabric. Yeah, that'll be the last trip to Joann's. The first store will be closed end of the week. In fact, by the time you see this video, it'll probably be closed or the next day. And the other one will be closed the week following. But I think I'm done. I don't want to go back. As I said, I don't want to go back and find out, now everything's 90% off. So I think I've got enough to keep me busy for a while. And I will be going to a sewing retreat in a couple of weeks, the first weekend in June, and I'll be telling you more about that. My plan for the retreat was to sew dress-a-girl dresses and kind of knock those out. I've got, fabric here. I've got some other fabric I already have. And what I plan on doing is going ahead and cutting them out. I've got 2 patterns, 2 free patterns that I want to use. One I've used before, one I've not. And already have them cut out and ready to sew, have the bias binding ready to go. And then all I have to do is just sit down and sew them up on the 2-day sewing retreat, and I'll be able to get those all done. I won't have to worry about them when the time comes in the fall. So, well, that's what I've done, more fabric. But I think this will keep me busy for a little bit. Let me know, have you been to any of your Joann's? Have you got any good deals on it? Some places don't have big deals, and I mean, these weren't the greatest deals, but I do know I needed to buy fabric for the Dress-A-Girl anyway, and I probably was going to go to Hobby Lobby for the 40%, so this is still, better. And I got quite a bit for the Dress-A-Girl, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I got. So, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't subscribed, I would be tickled to death if you would. Give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time I upload a video. Y'all take care now. God bless you. Goodbye.